What we're going to do today is I'm going to go over basically the details of how Rocket Cash Cycler works,
All right.
and I'm going to show you why it's going to last a long time, why it's legal, and why we're in a position to make a lot of money.
All right,
Sound
cool.
good?
Yeah, sounds great.
As with most programs, you want to take a look and make sure that there's a good product. We don't want to sell a magic ballpoint pen to people, something you can write poetry or draw pictures with and hopefully get to sell. So what Rocket Cash did is they said, look, for $315 coming into the business, that's the one-time cost to get involved with Rocket Cash Cycler. What we're going to give you is some software called XSky that people use right now currently, and they pay about $30 a month for it. It works out to around $360 annually. So it's valued at around $360. That is licensed lifetime to you for the $315. It's fantastic software that helps you build a lead list and build your contact list through Skype by searching out keywords of the type of people that you want to contact. We also include a resource library with authors like Robert Kiyosaki, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Earl Nightingale. Basically all the books that you've been told your whole life that you need to read, they're included in this library. If you were to go and try to piecemeal and replace these books, say like off of Amazon or something like that, you'd pay around $1,700 to do that. So for $315, you're getting roughly $2,000 worth of value. So that's a pretty good value. We're good right there. $315, you're going to get $2,000 worth of value. Rocket Cash Cycler is the first of its kind 2x3 into a 2x2 hybrid cycler. What does that mean? Well, you remember a while back they used to have these things called money boards or gifting boards?
Yeah.
The whole idea behind it was, let's say, I draw a few circles for you. We've all seen this before. This is a simple 2x3 matrix. It just means two people got involved, came in, involved two more people, who then in turn involved two more people, 2 by 3 different levels. And they assign things to this called lines. This is an 8 line, this is a 4 line, this is a 2 line, so this is a pay line. The way gifting boards and things like that work, there was no product or anything. The premise worked, and they'd work for a little bit of time, and you'd be sitting up here on the pay line, say you got into it for $1,000. When these 8 people came and filled in, you'd get paid $8,000. Of course, you had to start alone at the top, getting a few people and having those people fill in.
Yeah.
But when the person would get paid at the top, they'd go out there with their $8,000, they'd spend money, pay some bills, they'd be real excited, and it'd create this 7 day to 2 week lag period of time, and all of a sudden they're down to $1,000 going, man, I got to get into another board. So while the idea worked in its simplicity, there was always that lag period of time that caused a slowing effect within the board. Well, in this, we do the direct sale of these marketing products, except for we don't start at the top. We start somewhere within the 8 line. So let's say you came into Rocket Cash Cycler today. You would land somewhere within this 8 line. Let's say you ended up right there, Ben. That means there's people in here, 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 and here, and all the way right here. There's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 if you count yourself, people just trying to fill these 2 spots. And when these 2 spots fill, the board splits. And this becomes a pay line, this becomes a 2 line, this becomes a 4 line, and 8 new spots open up. So you're probably thinking right now, man, I don't know 8 people. Well, that's one of the beauties of this program. You literally only have to find 2 people lifetime in this business to qualify your position. So I'll explain. When you get started in Rocket Cash Cycler and you come in right here, you're actually represented by a rocket icon in the back office, and you're green initially coming into the business. When you get your first person into the business, say your brother decides to join you, your rocket will turn blue.
Okay.
When you bring in your second person, it may be your best friend or your mom or a business associate, that's your 2 people. Your rocket now turns red. You are forever qualified within the business to make money. But why is that significant and important? Well, you and I can both agree that there's A players, B players, and C players in this world, right? A players go out and they know tons of people, and they get involved and they get going really fast. Your B players will get a couple people, and they'll become a red rocket reasonably fast. And your C players, they go skiing and come back with a sunbird and going, I'm going to get to it next week, right?
Yeah.
But you don't want to have a holding effect. So what the company did, another part of the genius is they created what's called a rocket booster. So let's say you're a red rocket. And this person, say he's a blue rocket because he has one person. This person's a blue rocket. Maybe this person's a red rocket right here, and this guy's a blue rocket. And you got a couple greens in here because it goes pretty darn fast. Well, when this 8-line fills and the board gets ready to split, because you're a red rocket, you're going to jump or rocket blast these people and end up all the way at the top of the board. So this is important because as an A player, you don't have to wait on B players and C players to make money within the business. They put this in here. The B players have an opportunity to catch up, of course,
Yeah.
and the C players become B players eventually, we hope, and it continues to fill. But I told you this is a hybrid cycler. So if you're sitting up here in the pay line, and we know that for all intents and purposes, all people that got involved within this paid around $300 to get involved in the business. So 300 times 8 equals $2,400. This is real money that you've earned from the company. But we don't want to have the lag period of time, and we just created a hybrid cycler. So what do they do with this $2,400? Well, they take 300 of it, and they give it back to you. Now your business is debt-free, basically. Saved the $15, but you ended up with $2,000 worth of product, so you're really quite a bit
Price to
ahead.
pay. Yeah.
They take 300 also, and they create what's called an E-pin, and this puts you onto a virtual 2x3 board. And I'll explain that here in just a minute.
Okay.
And then they take $1,800, which this now totals $2,400, and they put you into your first 2x2. What is that? A 2x2 is just like a 2x3, except for it's one person with two people with two people. 2x2. So if you're on the pay line and you've just gotten your $2,400, they gave 300 to you, 300 puts you onto a virtual 2x3, and 1,800 puts you onto a 2x2. Just like in the 2x3 where you started at the bottom, you end up at the bottom over here. These spots are already filled. What you do now is your brother and your best friend who got involved in the company, when they come over into the 2x2, they take this spot and they take this spot.
Okay.
And then the next person that was underneath them will take this spot and the board will split. This is a 4-line, this is a 2-line, this is a pay line. What does it mean to be on a pay line of a 2x2? Well, we know through simple math that if everybody spent $1,800 of their $2,400 to be able to get onto this board, that $1,800 times 4 equals $7,200, right? When this first person comes into the business, you get paid $1,000. When the second person comes into the business, you get paid $1,000. Now, what's important about this is that you get paid that on that day. So where over here you had to wait for the 8-line to fill before you got your $2,400. When you're on your pay line in the 2x2 and people from your original business come over and they finish their 2x3s, you get paid on that day. So when the third person comes over, you get paid another $1,000, and when this fourth person comes over, you get paid $2,000. That's $5,000. So let's do some math. $5,000 off of $7,200 leaves $2,200, right? What happens? It's a hybrid cycler. So what they do is they take 1,800 of it and they put you into another 2x2 where you can make
Another $5,000.
exactly. You see that there's a balance of $400 that's left. That's what the company makes. The company pays out 94.5% back to us in the field. They only retain 5.5%. And you can see it's when we make our $5,000 that the company finally makes money. So they have a big motivation to actually see us get paid.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to show you the bigger picture of this, okay?
Okay.
So you remembered we started in a 2x3. This is really the only board that we ever work in within the business. It's called it's our motherboard, essentially.
Okay.
So as we go along and this board's building, it gets exponentially bigger and bigger and bigger, and you don't really realize who all's in there, but we as leaders just kind of throw a pebble out in the pond and we break boards and create income for all of our team. But that first 2x3 made you $2,400, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I told you they send $300 to you cash. Okay. You can get that through your Solid Trust Pay account or your Payza account. And $300 was an E-pin that put you onto a virtual 2x3. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if your username up here is Ben, when you get this $300 to go into another 2x3, your username now becomes Ben2.
Okay.
And they took $1,800 and they put you onto your first 2x2. What's important to remember here, Ben, is that the people that you start with are the same people that follow you here and follow you here. So when they go over to their 2x2, they also attach a number 2 to the end of their username, and they go down here also.
Okay.
So if you can make $2,400 in your regular 2x3, doesn't it stand to reason that you can also make $2,400 in this?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. So when you get to the top of this 2x3 and it breaks, you get $2,400 again, 300 of which goes to you, 300 of which becomes an E-pin and puts you onto another guess,
2x3.
another virtual 2x3, where your username now becomes Ben3. So it's kind of you, but it's not really you, but it's sort of you, and it is. But remember up here, we're in this 2x2, $1,800 put you into it, and we knew it created $7,200, right? They gave you 5,000 of it, and they took 1,800 of it and put you into another 2x2,
Okay.
where you could make how much, Ben?
$5,000.
Now, how much more money did you have to spend to be involved in the business?
None.
That's right, $315 one time. You got your 2 people, so how many people do you need to get next month?
None.
What about the month after that?
None.
So you're starting to grasp the idea of what we're doing here. They take 1,800, over here you make another 5K, 1,800 of it puts you into another 2x2. Once you're on these 2x2s, they continue to go forever through perpetuity. You're always on 2x2s. But down here, you're in a virtual 2x3. You got 300. 300 put you on another 2x2. And 1,800 of it put you into your first virtual 2x2, where all the people that started to attach a 2 to the end of their name follow you again. So over here you can make $5,000, and they take 1,800 of the 7,200, and they put you into another 2x2. So what happens is eventually you're on multiple 2x2s. You get up in the morning, you open it up, it's like playing chess, and you've got 5, 10 different 2x2s that you're looking at. So for all intents and purposes, Ben, if you're on 10 2x2s that can make you $5,000, really what do you have in the bank?
Got 10,000 or
$50,000, right?
Yeah.
But what if you're on 20? Or what if you're on 25?
Yeah.
You're making $300 checks all the way down here, and you're making $5,000 checks to infinity this way. And your only qualification to get involved in the business was to spend $315 one time and find how many?
2 people.
2 people. So if I'm explaining this to you like this, you need 2 people. Doesn't it stand to reason that the 2 people you involve, they're going to need,
2 people.
and they're going to pay
$315.
how many times?
One time.
And the people they involve,
Same thing.
2 people. This is the simplest business you will ever do that will pay out the most money over the longest period of time that you'll ever be involved with.
Wow.
What do you think?
That's fantastic.
I can get you started today.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks.